Hey guys, Harry here. I have literally just finished watching Parasyte, the first episode, and I absolutely loved it. I was blown away. I expected it to be good, but not this good. Like, the story is so gripping, I didn't expect it to, pull me in so much, and just the art and animation, let's just not even go there. It is, utterly superb. I didn't expect such an art style from this sort of show. But basically, to give you a rundown of the premise of the show, we basically follow a 17-year-old schoolboy called Kiseijuu, and one night when he's sleeping, this insect sort of thing tries to crawl into his ear and into his nose, but he stops it, bats it away, but then it burrows into his wrist and into his hand, but he stops it from climbing up his arm. A couple days progress, and then he notices that his hand starts acting up, he doesn't really have full control over it, and then all of a sudden it sprouts an eye and a mouth and a nose, as he stops this car from attacking from running over this little girl, and he freaks out as expected. So he runs back to his house, and he's absolutely freaked out because he's basically just seen his hand mutate into this weird parasitic sort of creature which has an eyes and a mouth. So he goes to stab it, and it transforms into this jellyfish sort of starfish sort of thing, and it has hands and eyes, and it's talking to him in broken English, or Japanese in this case. So after a quick conversation between it, it basically says, "Oh, I'm tired," and it transforms back into his hand, which he then has full control over. So advancing a couple more, I think it's a day, he wakes up one morning, and then his hands expanded all across his bedroom, and it's researching history and autonomy and all sorts of stuff, and it's split off into little gooey creatures which each have their own eyes and hands, and they're all doing their own thing, and basically they get to talking and such, and hand basically explains that it's a failure because it tried to take over Kinseijuu's brain, and if it had exceeded in that, Kinseijuuu would be no more. Basically, this little creature would have taken over his entire body, and he would have just controlled the body itself. And what we see is some other creatures here and there around the world. At the very beginning, we see that they can transform their faces and such. So I'm assuming if these creatures do take control of the brains of their hosts, they can change their appearance in whatever way, because we do see when the hand's researching, its little individual nodes sort of things can change into fish and such. So it's very, very interesting and very gripping. So basically, after learning that, the hand's basically I can't live without you, and now that I have control of your hand, I now survive off your nutrients throughout your blood, and the only way they're going to be able to coexist, because if the hand wanted to, it could just go cray and probably strangle him or whatever, or work out some way, but basically it can't take over his brain now, so it's basically stuck being his hand. So the hand's basically suggesting they coexist, they work something out by him letting the hand do whatever. It's gonna let Kinseijuuu learn to use his hand again basically and have full control over it. So they decide on that, well, sort of decide on that, but Kinseijuuu is pressed for time. He has to go to school. So on the way to school, they take a different route for whatever reason, and the hand notices something. Its senses is peaked. It notices something, and what it notices is that another one of its parasitic alien creature friends is somewhere nearby. So they go and investigate, and when they investigate, they slowly track down the source of where this sense is coming from, and as they turn this corner, they see this mutated dog devouring some human on the ground, and then the dog ends up talking, and Kinseijuu's all freaked out in that, but then the hand all of a sudden's run, because he can sense murderous intent from this dog. Obviously he was eating a corpse, so what do you expect? So they hightail it out of there, and then the dog all of a sudden mutates wings out of its back and starts chasing them down. So then the hand mutates into this massive spear, and this is where the animation full on kicked in, and the hand, I don't know how to describe it. It turned into just this massive spike thorn thing, and full on pierced this dog, ripped out its heart and destroyed it. And that's where we find out that basically if they take over the brain, they take over the entire body, and then they have full control over it. If they want to, they can mutate the organs into these extreme positions. For example, the dog had wings, and if you destroy its organs, it's obviously gonna die. So all in all, it was an utterly gripping episode, and I cannot wait to see more. I've heard the manga is utterly amazing and it's a must read. So after watching all this and just this one episode alone, I'm full on hooked, and I cannot wait to watch this entire series and then go back and read all the manga, because I'm sure they'll probably only do like a certain part of the manga, because I'm not sure how long it is. But anyway guys, I really enjoyed this. I'd highly recommend it. For a first episode, I'd probably give it like a solid 8 out of 10. Just, I had like some expectations, but they were below the water, and they were pretty high expectations. So if you've seen it, let me know in the comments below. If you've read the manga, also let me know in the comments below. I've been Harry. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that great stuff, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.